Jewish Family Service of Western Mass is hosting summer camp for refugee children, allowing them to experience fun and feel connected to kids in their new community. One of the locations hosting the camp is the Jewish Community Center in Longmeadow. Sara Bedford, who runs the New American program for Jewish Family Service, joined us in studio to explain.
Summer is typically a really big problem for newcomers to Springfield. For example, you have a family who comes, is resettled as a refugee, say in March, and they get their immunizations and they get enrolled in school maybe mid-April or so, and they're in school for 1 month, 1.5 months, and then it stops. And they have the problem of summer where they're just sitting and cooling their heels for 3 months and not learning, not interacting. And so we came together and really tried to solve part of this problem this summer. So in partnership with the Jewish Community Center, we have 28 refugee children who are attending summer camp at the Jewish Community Center through free spaces that the JCC donated to us and through use of child care vouchers from the state. We have a couple of kids going to the YMCA, but we really wanted to make sure that these kids had a way to engage this summer, engage socially, practice their English, learn social skills, learn structure, and so they're ready to go back into school in September. Second, we have an in-house program for refugee high schoolers to make sure that it's really to get them out of the house and seeing the opportunities that they could take advantage of after high school.
So when you talk about having the kids at camp all summer, there has to be, some logistics that you have to work out. They're learning English. Yes. So the camp counselors are also facing that same language barrier. How are you able to work that out? I'm sure, both parties are learning as they go.
Yes, and it's been really spectacular. The JCC staff have been so welcoming. We went and visited the staff before camp started to talk about who refugees are, what are the special considerations or what they might run into, and they have been nothing but enthusiastic. I know that they have other kids at camp who are also learning English. They may not be refugees, but they're other community members. But the kids are picking it up fast. I have an 11-year-old and a 5-year-old pair. They're originally from the Congo and they came just in March. And the older sister loves learning. She loves books, and I go over to their house and she's teaching the younger ones. And she, after about 2-3 weeks at camp, she was like, listen to my younger sister. She's speaking English. She's learning from her friends. And that's what we're seeing. So the communication barriers that they had at the beginning, those are much, much reduced. we're week 5 out of an 8-week camp right now. And it's been transformative for these kids.
And tell me where the kids are from. I know you mentioned Congo as one of them. Where are they from?
The kids the majority are from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And we have one boy from Iraq, we have a few from Sudan, we have a few from Bhutan and Nepal.
And what is their level of English when they come here?
It really varies. We had several youth who are from South Sudan, but they were living in Israel for quite some time. So they speak Hebrew fluently, and they speak a fair amount of English. On the other hand, we have a 4-year-old from the Congo, cute little girl named Jenny, and she speaks no English because she's never been to school before, but she's a rising kindergartner for next year. So you think of her going to school with no camp behind her and just starting with no English day 1 of school, and the difference that these 3 months are really making for her in preparation for learning and for her sort of academic career. And
tell us a little bit about the high school students, because I have to imagine that would be a big challenge anyway. That is a hard age, no matter where you are. How are they able to engage and kind of feel comfortable? And you were talking about, seeing the opportunities that are out there, opportunities that I think, we might take for granted, but how are you able to facilitate that for them?
Absolutely. So we have 10 high schoolers coming together in July and then a different 10 in August. So we're keeping it really small, and these are kids from all over the world. So from Sudan, from Nepal, from everywhere, from Congo. And we're really getting out into Springfield and the surrounding area. So the kids went to pharmacy camp at Winnick. They are volunteering at the food pantry to kind of do community service. They're going to visit local and state government. So part of it is really just letting them get exposed to different futures, different careers, visiting STIC, visiting Holyoke Community College, sort of seeing what's out there. And then the other side is learning to communicate, learning leadership skills, because what we've been, the New American Program, yes, we do refugee resettlement. Yes, we, serve families who need health care and so on. But we really want to make future leaders and community members and sort of build bridges between the local community and the refugee community. So this program is really critical to that, because these are future leaders. They're going to graduate high school. They're going to be the first in their family to do many, many things, and their parents just don't know what's out there because they're not from here. They don't have the background that we do. And so it's creating that comfortable structure. I mean, we're lucky enough to have a volunteer who's running a social improv class with them, so they can learn communication skills and conflict management and those sorts of things. So it's creating a really dynamic program to round out their experience. And then we're hoping to pair those youth, those high schoolers, with adult mentors for the next school year. And so we're really carrying forward this experience and making a team of these youth, a cohort, and then continuing to expose them to new things and help them get on track for college and so on and so forth throughout the next year. So it's really exciting.
Tell us some of the experiences that these kids might have had in their young lives, before coming here.
Sure. All of these youth, their parents were persecuted where they were from. They were forced to flee, so they were kicked out of their homes. And often we only think about the adult experience, with flight and with trauma of, often family members being killed, of being targeted because of who you are, your race or your your could be sexual orientation, could be anything. But often those families have kids with them who are hearing gunshots, who are fleeing with them, who are going from place to place to place. And they haven't really had a sense of permanence, in their young lives. And so we have kids who have spent their entire lives in refugee camps, getting rations of food for their family to eat, where their parents aren't allowed to work. They're not allowed to go to university. And so when families get here, you have parents who have really huge expectations for their kids. They're the generation who's going to rise up, who's going to learn English, who's going to go to college. And yes, the parents will excel and they'll hopefully, find careers and so on. But the youth are hungry, really, for those experiences, the majority of them. I was reflecting on the way here about the summer camp. And really most of the kids that we work with camp before they come to the United States really is refugee camp. The block that they lived in, the place where their family was assigned, by the UN, a place to stay and live. And what camp are you in, what camp are you in, was always refugee camp. And that, this is the generation where we're kind of flipping, JFS and the JCC, we're able to flip that dimension to have this new generation not think of camp as like refugee camp, but like summer camp, the bouncy castle and but all of these kids are resilient. They've faced
things we couldn't even imagine.
Things we couldn't even imagine.